So, as you can see, I tore my meniscus and I ended up having surgery on Wednesday of last week. But this setback, I believe, is actually quite beneficial for me in the long run of things. So, let's jump right. How about let's move slowly into it? I still can't put any pressure on my leg yet. And I figured I'd cover up my stitches just so you guys don't have to see that for the entirety of the video. Alright, so many of you are probably thinking that I tore my meniscus by working out. But here's the catch. I'm not even sure how I tore it or when I even did tear it. I have an idea that I most likely hurt it back in high school when I was playing football or lacrosse and never fully tore it, where this past summer I was playing some flag football at USF.
AK Gator.
And we were doing good and all, we were winning games, but I started to have issues with running routes and just giving it my 100%, to where any sort of shifting, maneuvering, and full speed, I just couldn't give it my all anymore, where my knee, it just started to hurt. But I played through the pain, and we ended up winning the championship, where I scored a couple of tutties. So all in all, it was worth it at the time, and I didn't put much thinking behind my knee yet until a couple weeks after that. I came home and tried to race my brother up our hill, and that did not end well, where I made it about a quarter to a halfway up the hill, and the pain in my knee just shot through, and I was limping for a while. And that was the first time I really was starting to think that I might have did something a little bit more serious to my knee that typical rest and recovery won't fix. I ignored it for the time being and didn't pay much more attention to it until about 2 months later, to where I started practicing for a flag football game, where we had a scrimmage against another team. And after, I don't even think it was 1 to 2, maybe 3 plays, but after I ran a route at full speed, instant pain in my knee, to where internally inflamed. I had pain in my knee then for about 3 days afterwards. So I knew something wasn't right. So I decided to go to the doctors to get it checked out. And I ended up getting an MRI after a couple of visits. And once you know it, I had a torn meniscus. And on the chart it also said I had like a sprained ACL, but the doctor said I didn't have that. So that was good to hear. So seeing the results of the MRI wasn't a surprise, since I knew something wasn't right in my knee. And whenever I would do hamstring work on leg day and do really heavy leg curls, the back of my knee would just get really tense, and it would start to hurt, to then where I would get up and start to walk, I had to limp it off for a while until I could fully stretch out my knee. So that was another sign that something wasn't right inside my knee. But the funniest thing is that besides running full out sprints and doing any sort of heavy hamstring curls, I had no knee pain. Walking fine, a light jog fine, and so it was very odd, to where even when I went in to go get it checked up, my doctor, he did all the knee maneuver thing that wiggles the knee back and forth and asked if this hurt and whatnot, and I said no, and he was like, but everything that you've been telling me about the pain in your knee, of how it hurts when you run and whatnot, sounds like a meniscus tear. So we'll get you cleared for an MRI, and I went and got one and came back, and that's what the results showed: a torn meniscus. So after getting the results back, the doctor suggested that surgery would be the best route to go, where he would go in and do a meniscus repair surgery, which is basically how I think of it, as my meniscus is moving around. Instead of trimming it up, he would stitch it back together where it's supposed to be. So he suggested that and said it would be about 4 weeks on crutches and about 4 to 6 months until I can fully recover and get back out to doing what I was doing before. That was promising to hear, that I will be able to fully recover from this, but a little sad that it's going to be 4 to 6 months, but I have high hopes. So a couple of months went by, and I kept my promise to the doctor, where he suggested I just don't do anything stupid from the time we met up to the time of our surgery. And so I didn't do anything stupid. And on the day of the surgery, he said that he would try to do the repair, and if he couldn't, he would then do the partial meniscus the trimming up my meniscus. So after I went under and came back, I got the news that he was able to do the full repair, which does require more recovery since he basically tacked my meniscus back together rather than just trimming it up. So in the long run, it seems to be better to do a repair if they can be done from doing research on it. So I'm happy I got the surgery, and so far I'm doing good. Now I don't know how my doctor would feel about this, but I still got a fully functioning upper body, so I got 2 workouts in last week after my surgery. I rested the entire day after I got the surgery, but I went to the gym and crushed some arms, shoulders, and triceps. Now I didn't go super hard when I was working out. I just kept it simple, didn't put any pressure on my leg. But from being a super active person and going on walks every day, being immobilized in a way and not being able to put any pressure on my leg, it's a transition, and it's kind of tough to manage within this first week, but I'm confident that I will be able to recover pretty quickly after my next doctor's visit and get to physical therapy as soon as possible to rehab the sucker back to full-on live action, with the hopes of being fully recovered by the 4-month marker rather than the extended 6-month marker. And who knows, maybe I could push it to the 3 months. We'll have to see. I'm also doing everything nutritionally wise and biohacker wise that I know to help reduce inflammation and potentially speed up the recovery process. And that's just eating a very low inflammatory diet, which is basically what I already eat. That's just high protein, high in monounsaturated fats, high in micronutrients, a lot of fruits and vegetables, and then basically sitting here, resting it, putting ice on it, and then doing some red light therapy on it, which I feel, it actually feels really good after I do it. So I've been doing that twice a day and getting good quality sleep, which has been a surprise to my mom and brother with how much sleep issues I'm having, which is 0, other than having to get up and go pee in the middle of the night, which is the only thing that sucks. But other than that, I fall back ready to sleep, and I have no issues with sleeping with my knee. So all in all, the surgery went really good, and I'm feeling good, and I plan on coming back stronger and more agile than before, with the hopes of physical therapy actually giving me more structural strength, with this having very little to no effect at all on my plans of still getting shredded. So, because like I said, I still got a functional upper body to where working out, that shouldn't be an issue. It's just a matter of kind of getting to the gym right now, but I will figure that out here. Now, there is one downside, maybe 2. I'm definitely going to lose strength in my leg at first, and most likely going to lose muscle in my leg, but it is what it is. I'll end up getting it back, where after I get the clearance, I'm definitely going to work out my left leg as much as I can and try to incorporate some BFR training to help increase the muscle stimulus without having to use nearly as much weight. So we'll see how that ends up turning out, where my legs shouldn't get too small. Let's hope. But other than that, I'm excited to bounce back from this, where 3-ish years ago, leg day used to be honestly my favorite day in the gym, and I used to love squatting, where even though this issue hasn't affected my squatting, I just haven't really been loving it as much recently, to where hopefully, like I said, after physical therapy, I get more structural strength and stability, to where maybe I will feel really good and confident with my squat again and try to hit a PR in the future, where my current PR is 415 pounds for 1 rep, and that was about 2 years ago when I was weighing about 195 pounds. So my goal now is to get a 450 pound squat and weigh about 165 pounds. So that won't be for a while, where I'm just trying to take baby steps to start walking first, but that's a future goal to get back to at some point. So we will end up working towards that in the future, but for now, we're going to try to walk first, see how that goes, but that won't be in the next week. I have to wait and see my doctor before I do that. So that's all I got for you today, guys, where you're going to have to keep on tuning in to see how my knee recovery process goes along with my journey to getting shredded. So you got 2 things to look forward to now each week. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so now. And you have your other friends and family members tune in to catch up to see what's going on in my recovery and journey process. Where last week my goal was to hit 100 subscribers, and I hit that last week. So that was truly awesome, and I truly thank everyone who subscribed. You guys rock. So let's keep the ball rolling. Keep on subscribing, guys, and liking, and comment more. I want to see some more comments on my post. See what you guys are thinking. Where that's it for today. So I'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Oh.